Hi, my name is Lemo, and this video is going to be a breakdown of my remix of Home is in Paris by Kanye West and Jay-Z. It sort of came out of the blue for me that this track garnered so much attention, and it's all thanks to the Indo-Australian DJ called Baby J. Go check her out, go book her, she's amazing. And also do stream her remix of Illegal by Pink Panthers. Great remix. Make sure to go check her out. My remix has garnered almost 1,500 downloads on Hypeedit. It peaked at number 5 on the hip hop charts, which is also insane. I've never really thought I'd manage to get these sort of numbers for my music, especially not this remix, since it's a really simple remix, which I guess is why it sort of blew up. I'm not really fond of using that term, but it sort of did blow up, I guess. She posted a reel of one of her sets from November of last year, and that reel has almost 3 million views on Instagram right now, which is also insane. So again, big shout outs to Baby J, and let's get into this breakdown. It's gonna be a really short video because there's not much going on. I saw like a TikTok of someone having made a Jersey remix of the same song. I was sort of drunk. I'd been bar hopping with a few friends that night, and I felt like, I can do better. It wasn't really mixed that well, stuff like that. I don't remember who did it, so I'm not trying to throw shade or anything, but I just had an idea for how I could make it sound a bit cleaner, maybe make something that could work a bit better. It is incredibly simple. I have the original track right here. I chopped up the end to remove the really distorted drums at the end. The only thing I did to the original track, I didn't AI stem separate anything. All I did was I have 2 EQs. There's no real purpose for them. They're both low cuts and they're being automated. They're only being activated once my 808 is playing. And that's really all I did to it. No reverb, no delay, no nothing. With the EQ on, the original track sounds like this. I just wanted to isolate the melodic elements and the vocals and remove the low end. As for the drums, I added a kick. Just a classic Jersey drill pattern. I added a stomp, as well as a hi-hat and a snap. Those drums together sound like this. They just loop the same 4-bar pattern throughout almost the entire song. Most of this song is just structured a bit differently to make it not sound as repetitive. I also added a offbeat snare that repeats every 5 to 8 bars. On top of that, I added an 808. That same pattern loops whenever the 808 is playing. You can sort of hear that the 808 is sort of swooping in rather than punching immediately. And the way I got that sound was with the envelope in the sampler in FL Studio. You can do this with any sample that you load straight into the channel rack. All I did was put the hold on max, turn down the decay, sustain, release, and delay. And then I sort of increased the attack just a tiny bit. It's at 10% right now. And then I pulled the tension down minus 100% to give it a curve. Without the envelope, the 808 sounds like this. It's sort of a small difference. You can also hear it like keep playing out, even though the notes stop playing. With the envelope, it makes sure that when the 808 note in the piano roll stops, the 808 sample stops playing. The attack gives it that like swoop in rather than having that click in the beginning. So together with the kick, if I were to turn off the envelope, you can hear that it sort of clips. And then with the envelope, it gives more room to the 808. Or sorry, it gives more room for the kick. Mixing wise for the drums, on the 808 I have nothing, on the kick I have nothing, on the stomp I have a low shelf, on the hi-hat I have a low shelf, snap I have a low shelf, and on the snare I have a low shelf. That way the lower frequencies of the samples won't clash with the 808 and the kick. I also panned the hi-hat to the left as well as panning the snap to the right to give a bit more of a bit of wider stereo image. On top of the drums, I have a few different samples playing throughout this song. I have this sweep right here that plays every 8 bars. I also have this classic bed squeaky sample thingy. And then I have this whip sound effect that plays every 4 bars. The bed squeak plays every 4 bars. And then lastly, I added this percussion loop. It's just a bunch of people doing like the dum cha cha in the background. Added a nice sort of percussive element. And that's really it for the drums and what I did mixing wise. On the master track, I have one Fruity Soft clipper. None of the knobs are touched. That's just to make sure that the song isn't clipping. Pretty self-explanatory. No other mastering. I do have an instance of Edison, but that was just to chop a bit of the 808s. Because I used so few like drum samples and did so little to actually switch up the song, I wanted to structure the drums properly so that the song isn't getting too repetitive. So I have 2 actual drops with all of the drums playing, and then I have a chopped part right here in Kanye's verse. For the outro, after the second time that Will Ferrell is sampled, I only brought in the stomp, the percussive samples, and the snap and the snare, just to have a sort of an outro for the song. And other than that, there's nothing to it. I rendered it out. It took me about 45 minutes to an hour to make this song, and I just threw it up on SoundCloud. It garnered some attention originally. It got like 10,000 streams or something in a year, which was by far the biggest song I've ever made. I've been producing music for 9 going on 10 years now, and I've like the most amount of streams I gotten before that was like a few hundred maybe. And that's also how Baby J found it on SoundCloud. She also DM'd me so that she could tag me in their reel to give me credits for the song, which I highly appreciated. I've got all of her socials linked in the description of this video, so do go check her out, book her. She's an amazing DJ. Also make sure to go check out her edit of Illegal by Pink Panthers. I've got that linked in the top of the description as well. Follow my SoundCloud, follow my Instagram and TikTok. I'm going to try to post a bit more on there. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be posting more breakdowns. I'm going to be recording a few sets that I'm playing this fall, as well as just maybe doing some production content, something like that. I'm not really sure. I've been wanting to get into content creation for a while, and I figured why not start. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it. If you didn't like it, that's completely fine. You don't have to come back here. I appreciate you watching. Thank you again to Baby J for giving me this big boost to my SoundCloud page. I highly appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one.